Good evening and welcome to this Halloween special. Tonight we will be reciting a terrifying poem, and then we will do a tarot card reading. And finally, we will tell horror stories that will leave you checking all corners of your room, and then you will have to check the back of your pants for a mess. This is a poem and a real-life story of my encounter with the very Dark Lord itself. When the blood moon falls its searing hour, the sodden cup rises to the crimson shower's call, a torrential downpour of scorched earth power, clotted beast marks well upon the walls. When the ichor of the Dark Lord cascades, the sacrament pours from its spatter-stained lips. Goodness burns at the feet of the wicked maid, and the period of death begins in the red eclipse. So let this vile black mass ritual begin, sauntering down the aisle with the flesh and the gin. Kneel before the altar, lay the meat upon the ciborium, kiss the gin in the chalice, toast the serpent's great imperium. Dark Lord, I have sinned against you. Dark Lord, have mercy. I have brought you offerings, though my gifts unworthy. O my liege, for the pleasure of basking in my devotion to you, a Eucharist knife in my blood for the protection I pursue. Take this, Dark Lord, and eat from my wound. This is my body given for you to consume. To its feet, the fallen angel grabs the knife from me. In its malevolence, hisses, I'm warning you, this is your last chance to flee. My Lord of Darkness, in your new covenant, set me free. Well, the Dark Lord's eyes flared as it shouted back and guaranteed, if you call me the Dark Lord while I'm on my period one more time, you're sleeping on the couch tonight. Now we're going to do a tarot card reading. First, we'll do a reading for me, and then we'll do a reading for you. Now, don't worry about the cards that are drawn not being personalized to you. The tarot holds magical powers and reveals the inner destiny and foremost truths in all of us. The cards will magically transform to fit your own personal meaning. So if you show this video to somebody else, they will see a different set of cards and they will hear a different reading spoken to them by yours truly. We're going to use a method that I like to call 3 C's for 3 P's, which means 3 cards for each your past, present, and future, which I renamed to potential to make the acronym work. First P, my past. All right, and we have the King of Swords, the King of Cups, and the King of Wands. Oh yes, the tarot has spoken to me, and it has firmly shouted that I was born with the destiny to be a king. As the King of Swords, I lead with strength, courage, and intelligence. And I must be ready and willing to swing violently my big sword whenever it suits my needs. Just as I used to use violence on the playground in my past when I was a kid to get whatever toy I wanted. As the King of Cups, I have many cups filled with many things. Nobody has more cups filled with more things than me. The King of Wands, however, is perplexing me. Perhaps you're a wizard, Rai? King Wizard. Now we'll draw for my second P, present. And we have the Sun. Temperance. And finally, the World. The tarot is telling me that it is my job, no, it is my duty, as the king of everything, to be the guiding light and use my kingliness to shine down on all the world and warm the naked and the cold with my vitamin D. Not so much the men, though. The men can have the knowledge, but the men will not be getting any of the king's vitamin D. The tarot is also telling me to use my temperance to impart my great wisdom on the world. The world of which you can clearly tell is naked. And I can't tell if that is because it is my great wisdom that will clothe them, or perhaps the bare-chested woman on this card is just flirting with me. Now let's see what's in store for my future potential. The Tower. The Star. And finally, Judgment. The Tower I take to be both metaphorical and literal. Metaphorical in that the tower represents the great heights that my kingdom will reach. And it will be the literal castle where I will reside and reign in my kingdom. The star is telling me that in the future, when my earthly kingdom comes to an end, I and it will ascend into the sky, where my kingdom and I will reign from the stars. And once my great tower has soared into the sky, from there, my new life's destiny will be to pass righteous judgment over all from the tower of the kingdom that I king in amongst the stars. So now we'll do your reading, starting with your past. And we have the Hierophant, the Fool, and the Moon. The tarot is telling me that the Hierophant represents a parental figure in your life. Perhaps one that upholds traditions and standards and the norms of regular society. The traditions and norms that they deeply wished and resent the fact that you, the fool, do not follow. The Hierophant doesn't understand the fool's foolish behavior and often accuses you of acting like you were raised on the moon. The moon is, of course, way out in orbit, loosely attached to planet Earth, just like you, the fool, who likes to spend a lot of your time out there on the moon, frolicking around and doing your little moon dances, while the Hierophant scowls. Now for your present. Your present is this reading that I'm giving you. I hope you like your gift. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Lovers. Things are looking up for you. And finally, we have Death. In a cruel twist of fate, a fruitful hand has turned sour. Under normal circumstances, the Wheel of Fortune often gifts one with great financial luck. And the lovers could very well mean that the tarot has decided that your love life will be blossoming. But when these cards are paired with death, well, the tarot seems to think that your finances and your love life are in ruins. But fear not, moon-prancing fool, for there is a silver lining. Because while death does kill, it also clears the path for a new birth, where you can make all the same mistakes all over again. And finally, let's take a peek inside your future potential. And we have the Chariot, the Hermit, and finally, the Magician. Ah, yes, interesting. The tarot seems to think that the present-day death of your finances is going to bleed into your future. And after your car breaks down, you will have to ride around the city in a horse-drawn chariot, because that is the only form of transportation that you will be able to afford. You will be forced into a hermit lifestyle where you will live like the Amish, pounding a barrel of butter with a stick, alone in a hot house with no AC, wearing heavy, thick cloth clothing that covers every last inch of your skin. The tarot has chosen the Magician for you because it will take a miracle or an act of great magic to pull you out of your future misfortunes. Now we're gonna gorge on some bite-sized terrors, and I'm not talking about those rock-hard Tootsie Rolls and Charleston chews that your grandma hands out from her 10-year stockpile. No, I'm talking about scaring the life out of you in 3 sentences or less. But first, let me get into character.
You always feel a presence behind you, but when you look over your shoulder, nothing is ever there. That's because the presence always stays behind you. It's late at night, you're tired and driving alone. You took a wrong turn, so you put your address into GPS. When you press start, the GPS woman's voice starts to shake, and she says, "Please, no. Please don't take me back to that place." And then she goes silent, and your phone screen goes blank. You're brushing your teeth, looking at your reflection in the mirror. Your reflection suddenly looks at you in horror, stops brushing, and falls over, gasping for air. You love seeing your wife after she gets off work on Sundays. She always comes home with your favorite candy and talks to you while you're sitting on your headstone. There's a picture of you inside your house going to the bathroom on your phone, but the picture was taken from inside the toilet, and a long, shadowy, worm-like figure was sticking out of you. Relaxing music helps you fall asleep at night. You get tired and turn off your phone, and the music keeps playing. You're sitting in front of a camera right now, trying to scare people, but I'm sitting in front of a camera too, and I'm about to scare you.
Wait, I didn't write that. What? What?